All right, let's go ahead and take a second to check our work. Okay, one of my favorite strategies is to turn my paper so that every number has its own space so that my numbers don't run together. So let's divide 27 divided by 4, and if needed, when we get a remainder, we'll turn it into a decimal. Okay, so 4 does not divide into 2 evenly, so I move over to 27. And I know that 4 times 6 is 24. When I subtract, 7 minus 4 is 3, 2 minus 2 is 0. Okay, one red flag to always check is that what is left inside is always less than my divisor, so I know that I took out the correct number of roots. If this number is larger than your divisor, we've made a mistake somewhere. So, since I have 3 extra, what I can do is just extend the problem. Remember, when I add a 0 after the decimal, it doesn't add value, but it does extend the place. If I add a decimal inside, I also have to add the decimal on top. And now I can drop that 0 and say, okay, now how many times can 4 divide into 30? 7 times, because 7 times 4 is 28. I still have a remainder, so I can add another 0. Again, not adding value, but allowing me to divide out a little bit further. When I drop that down, now I'm dividing into 20. And 4 can go into 25 times. 5 times 4 is 20. And when I subtract, 20 minus 20 is 0. Now that I have nothing remaining, I have my entire answer. So 27 divided by 4 is 6 and 75 hundredths. Moving on to the second question. Okay, 129 divided by 6. 6 cannot go into 1, but 6 can go into 12. Okay, and 6 times 2 is 12. Forgive all the smudges, I'm sorry. 12 minus 12 is 0, but I'm not done. I still have another place value that I need to bring down. How many times can 6 go into 9? Once, and 1 times 6 is 6. And when I subtract, 9 minus 6 is 3. I have nothing left in my original number, but I do have a remainder that I've been asked to turn into a decimal. Okay, so again, adding place, but not value. And now I can bring that 0 down. Oh, I forgot one thing. I forgot to bring my decimal up too. How many times can 6 go into 30? It can go into 30 5 times. My remainder is already 0, so I end up not needing this extra one. And my entire answer is 21 and 5 tenths, or 21 and a half. Ready for the third one? All right, 476 divided by 8. 8 cannot go into 4, but it can go into 47. It can go into 47 5 times, and 5 times 8 is 40. 7 minus 0 is 7. 4 minus 4 is 0. 7 is less than 8, so I can move on to that next step. Bring down the next number. So how many times can 8 go into 76? 9 times. 9 times 8 is 72. When I subtract, I have 4 left over. Again, I have nothing left to bring down, but I do have a remainder. So I'm going to add my decimals and add the value. place, excuse me. So how many times now can 8 go into 40? It can go into 45 times, and 8 times 5 is 40. I have nothing left, so my total answer is 59 and a half. Just leave it on there, sorry. Okay. So far, how are you doing? Do you feel like you have done well? We still have one more to check together. Okay, and that is 585 divided by 26. Now this one was a little bit more of a challenge because of the double digit divisor. Okay, I'm going to have to show my work off to the side to make sure that I am doing this correctly. So I'm going to start by guessing 2 because I know that 26 is close to 25, and 25 times 2 is 50, which is close to 58. So I just want to make sure I'm doing my math right. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1, and 52 is less than 58. So I have 2 groups of 26, which equals 52, and 8 minus 2 is 6, and 6 is less than 26, so I can bring down that next group, the next place value, excuse me. Helps you write it correctly. No apologies, that is a 5 there. Okay, so now I know that 52 is not quite enough, so I'm going to try times 3 and see what I get. 6 times 3 is 18. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 78. So 78 is too much, so I can still only get 2 groups, which was 52. This is why I love not erasing my work, because my previous work is now helping me on this step as well. Whole work is good work. 5 minus 2 is 3. 6 minus 5 is 1. So I have 13 left over. Okay. So I'm going to need to add a place by not adding value, by doing a decimal and a 0. And bring that 0 down. So now I have 130. Okay. I know that 3 is not enough because I'm at 78. So I'm just going to guess at 5. The reason I'm guessing 5 is I noticed that 130 ends in a 0. And all multiples of 5 end in a 5 or 0. So that's why I'm just guessing 5. So 26 times 5. 6 times 5 is 30. 5 times 2 is 10. And I don't know if you can see that, I'm sorry. There you go. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 3 is 13. So my total answer is actually 130. So that was a good educated guess. So it can go in 5 times for 130, and nothing is left over. So my answer is 22 and a half. Be sure that you check in with your teacher on how you felt on doing these problems.